Hey everyone, I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. I'm a little bit late today. How is everyone doing? Oh my goodness. It's been a mental few days for me. And yeah, I hope everyone's doing all right. Sorry that I am late. A bit flustered because I literally had to set everything up. I've been running late, but we are here now. How is everyone doing? I'm so sorry. I haven't been on for like literally how many weeks has it been now? Like 3 weeks or something like that. Hello, Dr. Marnie. Hello, how are you? You're watching from Bonnet to the ABC Caribbean. Oh my God. Marnie, I bet you are looking at some amazing views. I bet you are. I bet it's just absolutely stunning. Oh, wow. Well, thank you so much for being here. You really break down the topics for us to reflect on. Oh, bless you guys. I really do hope, because that's literally what my hope is, my friends, is so that it can help you guys, and just to maybe even look at this as, like in a different perspective, rather than just looking at it in one way, thinking like, oh no, like this is so bad or that's so bad. Like, honestly, guys, it doesn't need to be like that. I've literally just had enough time to make tea. My voice, I tell you why my voice is like this. But in a minute, I am okay. I'm not ill. Hello, Peter K. How are you? So pleased that you are talking up on this topic. So many of us during after the abuse. Yes, we do. So many of us struggle with intimacy. Yeah, it's tough, isn't it? It's tough to be able to trust someone after, like what's happened. So I'm going to break down all of these topics today. Stuart, we got Sanjay in the house. Where are you guys from? I'm in the UK. Hello, sweepstakes. Hello, beautiful Thanksgiving. 2 years of no contact. Like, yes. I know. You've done so well. Like, you honestly, like, you've done so well. I'm so, honestly, hugs to you. You have achieved so much. And I remember at the start of your journey, this was so tough. But look at where you are now. Like, hello, look where you are now. You are doing so well. So well. Tanae, I can never say it. Tanae Gaspar, hello, my friend from the Netherlands, watching from the Isle of Man. Thank you, Stuart. We've got Bonnie in the house. We've got SM Journey, Palpaya from VA Beach. I bet it's beautiful where you guys are. You're very welcome, SM Journey. We got Owen, Sanjay, Lynn, Foreign 99. Hi, guys. Yes. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Got Mel, Bonnie, time for tea. Yes, guys, I hope you've got tea. I hope you have got tea, because we're gonna be breaking down this topic. We're gonna be talking about like, we are going to understand this in a completely different way, my friends. Okay, like it's gonna be fine. We've got Ida. I was been in a narcissistic relationship 17 years from Portugal. So you're from Portugal. Hello. 2 months of no contact. Well done, Stuart. This is so hard. Like, I know it is so hard to go no contact, but it's doable. It's absolutely doable. We've got Somerset in the house, Joe, taking a year off work, healing after too much toxic abuse. Palpaya, yeah, like bless you. At least you. This is the best gift you can give yourself. Like, you know what? Just doing you. That's what's so important. We've got Owen from Australia. Bless you. Thank you so much for watching. Like, it must be so early in the morning right now. Yeah, like I think it is the morning, isn't it? Yeah, it's the morning. What time is it? Is it like 8 o'clock in the morning? I think. Got April from Miami. We got Mel from Canada. We got South Carolina. We got Francis. Oh my God, guys, you are like literally from all over the world, like far and wide, like literally from like Australia to the US to like Canada. Like, it blows my mind. I know I say this like all the time, but it does. It honestly blows my mind. Thank you guys for being here. Honestly, we got Maria in the house. She's in London. She's not in Greece anymore. Yes, thank you for watching. We got Patty. I was so blindsided how they can do this. Yes, tea time Boston, 4 p.m. tea. Oh, yeah, it's 4 p.m. Yes, tea time. My friends, tea. Not coffee, tea in the afternoon. Patty, I know we were all blindsided. None of us knew. None of us could see what was going on. And we didn't even know. But you know what? We got to know, and we are here now, and we are doing good. We got Ines, we got a son. I love my son, but cannot forget my ex-narc. I know when you got children with them, it's really hard to like co-parent, but there are ways, and it will be all right. Promise, it will be all right. We got Retro Fran from Australia as well. Oh my goodness, guys, it must be so early for you, but I really appreciate you for watching. I really do. For like all of you, not just the Australians, my friends, all of you, for being here, for putting this time in, for you, for doing you. Okay. We are going to talk about this. We're going to get you thinking differently. We're going to get you moving forward. 5:11 a.m. Yeah, jeez, bless you. But I'm so glad that you guys are here. Honestly, I am so glad that you are here. Adventures with Seraphim. Do you know what? Do you know some of your handles for YouTube? Honestly, they're so cool. No doubt. How hard is it with children? They get even more scarred. Yeah, they do. And we got Kirsty. We got Kirsty from no Chrissy. Sorry, Chrissy Butler from New Zealand. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you. I bought do you know what? I was in London over the last few days. Okay, basically, I went to the YouTube Christmas party. So because I was having such a good time, my voice has gone a little bit like my voice is fine. It's absolutely fine. If those of you want to see what I got up to, just come on over to my Instagram because I put kind of like all the pictures and everything up on there. But I would put a post out over on YouTube. But it was really nice of YouTube to invite so many of us creators, you know, to their Christmas party. We did have a really, really good time. And it was really nice to meet like other creators as well. So, you know what, YouTube did put on a spread and they did spend a bit of money, you know, on the food, on the drinks, on the entertainment. It was really, really great. So none of that would have been possible without you guys. So thank you so much for all of these experiences that I very like gratefully am able to experience because of you guys. And obviously, like I want to give back. I want to give back to you guys. And I want to help you. I want to help you move forward. And I want you to stay stuck. I want you to understand that there is a way forward. Okay. And this is about expanding your mind, leveling up your mind. Okay. So we look at these things in a different perspective because remember, in life, it's all about choice and perspective. Okay. That's what is important here. Okay, my friends. So what I wanted to say, like in today's live, I really want to talk about how narcissistic abuse affects connection and intimacy. Okay, so we need to look at, if in order to understand that, we need to look at patterns of codependency and people pleasing. Like, no, we don't want to talk about it, but I think it's important for us to kind of unpack this and look at what it actually is. What are the signs of codependencies? I'm going to talk about practical tips to try and break the cycle. We need to look at fear of intimacy and emotional closeness, which unfortunately does come from narcissistic abuse. And I know that many of you probably have experienced this or are experiencing this. We need to look at the root of fear of past betrayals. So that's like literally going into our childhood. I know. We're doing a proper session today. We're doing a proper therapy session today, my friends. We need to look at common defense mechanisms. We also need to look at strategies for building healthy vulnerability, because look, if we can't be vulnerable in our relationships, how can we connect? And I know that this feeds into our fear, the fear of being intimate, fear of connecting with others, but we can't do that because then otherwise we're never going to be able to connect with other people, friendships, partners, relationships, all of those things. Like this is so important in connection. Okay. I'm also going to look at hypervigilance and the distrust of others' motives. This is a big one, my friends, because when we don't trust, we then have this hypervigilance. I'm going to look at effects on future relationships. I'm going to look at coping strategies. And then I'm going to look at struggles with setting and maintaining boundaries. So we're going to look at the whole section of boundaries, of understanding issues with post abuse, how boundary issues affect relationships and why it's important that you should have boundaries in relationships. Okay, I'm going to look at also the risk of attracting narcissists again. Okay, so this is all about understanding the cycle, understanding red flags early on, and tips for breaking the cycle. We need to understand what it is about us, about our behavior, about being aware and vigilant. That is what is important. And then I am going to look at reassurance and empowerment. And then we're going to look at steps toward healing. Guys, this is like a really jam packed kind of live stream. I've got so much to talk to you guys about. Obviously, I haven't been on for a number of weeks, but I am going to, do you know what? I am going to, oh, Yang, you are here. Thank you for being here. I kind of just told him earlier today that we were going live. Anyway, so yeah, so basically, yeah, jump packed. I know that I haven't been on for a few weeks. However, this is going to be more of a regular thing. Like I am going to stick to a more kind of um what's it called, more regular schedule. So my friends, retro fan 71, my partner of 3 years left me for an ex she hadn't seen in 16 years, slept with him and moved him in within a week, engaged to him within 2 months. Wow, that's a bit much, isn't it? Um, and then took her 4 kids with her, loved them like my own. Bless you. Yeah, this is what happens. This is what they do. It's all very chaotic. It's a bit intense, isn't it? It's a little bit intense. But we're going to talk about why this. You, of course, you're heartbroken. In the end, she withdrew intimacy. In the beginning, it was amazing, and I think that's the story for many of us. You know how like somebody withdraws intimacy, you feel so connected to that person, and then suddenly they're just gone. Like, what is that about? And this is done intentionally. But this again, we are going to be talking about this and really unpacking it. Hello, my angel Alfie. I hope you're all right. And hello, Tracy. Right. So let's start. Let's start. So, okay. So let's look at patterns of codependency and people pleasing. Okay. So, what we have to remember, okay, is that narcissistic abuse can train you to prioritize somebody else's needs over your own. And so what happens that makes it so much easier for you to fall into codependent patterns, meaning that you're always going to put somebody else's needs in front of yours or before yours because it's almost as though you have been trained or you have been um, made to do that. So it's kind of like you put your own needs and your own values and morals to one side. It's almost like you've got to serve this person. Like, this isn't healthy in a relationship or in a friendship. It's not about putting somebody else's needs before yours. It's about it being equal. But within these types of toxic relationships, it's like never equal. So it makes it very difficult for there to be some sort of a healthy relationship, healthy dynamic. And then what happens is you do fall into these codependent patterns, which is so hard. It's so easy to fall into, but so hard to break. And this is where I feel like so much of like the trauma bonds, this is where this really begins. And codependency often involves the need to be needed. This is where you feel responsible for somebody else's happiness and ignoring your own. So this need to be needed, this is almost like a validation, isn't it? Because you feel important, you feel seen, where perhaps maybe you hadn't. This, my friends, unfortunately, this stems back to childhood where you didn't have the validation, you didn't feel seen by your parents, there wasn't that attention, that love that you so, so much you really wanted it or you really needed it and it wasn't there. And so when your parents kind of like don't give you that, it makes it very difficult then to be able to kind of what's the word, to be able to find that within yourself. So you're always looking to your environment, always looking to another person to be able to provide that to you, which is where then you fall into those traps, or you fall into that kind of cycle of looking for someone to validate you, looking for someone else to do that for you. When really, you have that all within yourself. You don't need someone else to validate you. You don't need to look externally to feel validated. But because this is a trigger, because this is something that you didn't receive in childhood, um, you're more likely or more predisposed to seek it elsewhere, outwardly, for someone, for someone else, from someone else, sorry. And so, what are the signs of codependencies? Okay, so that's like, for example, you over committing to something. That's about you struggling to say no or feeling anxious or guilty when you are prioritizing yourself. You might ask for second opinions, you might ask for someone's opinions, so you don't feel yourself. You don't feel like you can make a decision that is right for you. You're always looking for someone else to be able to kind of validate that for you. Sometimes you might overcommit. Sometimes you might say yes to things that maybe you don't really want to say yes to. And so, then comes in the anxiety and the guilt, like, oh my God, like, really, I should be saying yes. Can you see how these patterns of behavior, or this way of thinking, really brings about, like, it's so much easier to fall prey to a narcissist. It's like they love this because you're so kind, you're so nice, you're so agreeable. They love this. They absolutely want a person like this, which is, as you can see, this is why they have, like, not wanted to let you go. They want you around. This is why they wanted to keep you. So I'm just going to answer some of your questions. Hello, Aspagia from Greece. How are you? I hope I said that right. Um, Pit 2. Will the narcissist finally agree to meet and explain all situation after leaving marriage without a word of explanation? Pit 2. My friend, you're not going to get an explanation. You're not going to get a validation to understand why a certain thing has happened. That doesn't happen, okay? Narcissists don't explain themselves. That isn't going to happen. So the fact that you're thinking that this person is going to give you closure or explain to you why they have behaved a certain way, it's not going to happen. So the fact that the narcissist is gone, that's it. But you wanting the explanation, or you wanting the validation, you know what? That's going to make you more prone for them to come back. So this is about making your own closure and understanding who this person is and was and what happened. I hope that makes sense. They won't, yeah, you to push a narcissist to meet you to give you closure. They won't. They won't give you closure. That's not going to happen. Peter says, hoping for emotional culmination sometimes causes us to make good decisions. Yeah, it does. I know what you mean. Yes, that's true. Chrissy, thank you. My angel Avi says, why can't they face you? Mine ran away after spending months messaging, then pointed out he was hurting me. Poof, gone. Yeah, they always go. Why do you think they go? Why do you think they don't stay? And the reason why they don't stay, my friends, is because they're going to have to provide you an explanation. They're going to have to explain to you why they have done that. And then when they give you an explanation, then that means that they've got to take responsibility for their actions. And, like, that's not going to happen. They're not going to do that. So this is where you have to understand, like, most of them do run away, like, no accountability. They're not going to say why they have done this, what has happened. Like, they're not going to do this. They're not going to do it for a few reasons, because first of all, they don't want to be accountable. Second of all, they don't, I mean, do they even have the understanding to explain what has happened, to understand their behavior? They don't know. Literally, they don't understand. But that they do know what they're doing. It's not that they don't understand what they're doing. They do know what they're doing, but they just don't have that self-awareness. And that is the issue, my friends. They don't have the self-awareness. So they're not going to provide you with an explanation. This is why they run. This is why they go. Lucia, 21 days no contact. That's amazing. This is amazing. For those of you that are in the chat, okay, my friends, those of you that have gone no contact, hats off to you, because honestly, like, this is the hardest thing to do. Okay, especially now before the holidays, those of you that celebrated before the holidays, like, I know that this is difficult, but my friends, you have done the right thing. Okay. There is no way that this person will ever be able to explain themselves, will ever be able to give you validation, will ever be able to give you some sort of understanding as to why this has happened. They don't want to do that because they have no respect for you. They have no respect for themselves. Think about their morals. Think about the way that they think. Think about their values. Like, where is that? That's like literally down the toilet. Sorry, that wasn't very professional, but like literally, yet they don't do that. Like, they're not going to do that because they don't have that. So you're expecting something of someone who, I mean, look at how they conduct their lives. Look at the way that they behave. Look at how they are as a person. What do they stand for? Who are they? And when you understand that, when you look at that, okay, that's going to give you more understanding as to why this person behaves this way. Of course, it's hard for me or you to have this realization or to understand their behavior as to why they are doing this. But if you look at them as a person, as a whole, like, look at the bigger picture here, you'll get to understand why this person is the way that they are. What do they represent? Who are they? What are their values? What are their morals? Look at the way they conduct their lives. And that will give you an indication as to why. So even after leaving a narcissistic relationship, you might even consciously seek out similar dynamics, such as narcissistic, toxic. Do you know why? Because they are familiar to you. And we're always going to choose the path of least resistance. We're always going to choose what's familiar because it's something that we've always done. And it's something that we are used to. And also, our brain is predisposed to look for something that is familiar, something that makes us feel comfortable, is part of our survival. So we're always going to look for the path of least resistance. So we're going to seek out similar dynamics, especially if we haven't worked on our own healing. So you're always going to do what you've always done. Okay. That is the danger here. Okay. So how do we break the cycle? Okay. So this is really about understanding, okay, what codependency is and what the patterns are. It's about identifying them. Okay. That's what you need to do. You have to be aware of your own codependent patterns. Sometimes, you know what, like writing it down. Okay, because this is about bringing about self awareness. And the only way that you can do that is if you really are aware, like you really put a lot of energy and effort into trying to understand yourself. So, journaling about this, okay, so when these tendencies show up, okay, so that it helps you to understand you. So, it helps to understand what really is going on. Okay, and I would suggest setting small, achievable boundaries in day to day interactions to build up confidence. Okay, that's what I would say. This isn't about berating yourself. This isn't about being harsh to yourself. This isn't about being nasty. This is about being aware. This is about understanding yourself and noticing these things. Okay. So if you want to understand code, if you find that you are someone that has these codependent patterns, there are like therapy or support groups which can help you to reframe your own self-worth and prioritizing your own needs. Okay, this is really about your own self-worth and getting your confidence back. And I know that, like, being in a narcissistic relationship or being in a toxic relationship, this can really ruin your confidence, your ability to make decisions, the way that you think about yourself, all of these things. It does all of this to you. But you have to rise above this and know that these are just patterns of behavior, and patterns of behavior can be broken, they can be changed. That is when you become aware of you, of your behaviors and what you do. So Lynn says 11 months for me, but I still see him drive past my house. Oh my God. That's I bet that's so annoying. And that's so like, I bet that gives you anxiety as well. And the shops in places where he knows I don't understand when he entered it. So I guess, do you know what, Lynn? Bless you. Like, honestly, this is like one of the hardest, like, this is so infuriating, but also anxiety, like stressful and infuriating. Like, do you know what? He's obviously keeping tabs on you. He's obviously trying to watch you and to see like what you are up to and what you are doing. But what I would say to you is, um, don't give this power. And I know this is easier for me to say that, like by just saying, oh yeah, don't give it power. But really what he's doing, it sounds to me like he's really what he's watching you. He's trying to see what you are up to or keeping tabs on you simply because of this attachment disorder that a narcissist has. They have to know what you're doing. They're so like inquisitive. And I guess this can also be quite suffocating as well. But what I would say to you is, I know that what he's doing can seem like as a threat, but lessen the threat in your mind. Okay, because what he is doing is just weird behavior. Like it's just strange. And the only reason why he's doing it is because he's keeping tabs on you. He wants to know what you are doing, what you're up to, like all of that. Do you know what I mean? Like those things. So you have to lessen it in your mind so that basically you get the control and you get the power back, you know, into your life, rather than giving it to this person or this person intimidating you and making you feel a certain way. I hope that helps. Last Christmas was, so that's squared circle oracle. So last Christmas was the first narc-free Christmas, and I spent it alone, but it was the most relaxing and comforting choice I could have made. It wasn't sad at all. It taught me a lot. Sometimes, bless you, you know, sometimes, you know, when we do spend time alone in reflection, we can have so many downloads. Like we can access, you know, our higher knowledge, like our higher self. So this knowledge exists within all of us, but we need to give it time and space to be able to listen to it, to be able to understand it, for it to come through. So the fact that it taught you a lot, that just says to me that that was really beneficial and really healing for you. So I'm really glad that it was. Thank you for sharing this. Retro fan says, are they really happy with the new supply when it all falls apart and they try and reach out to you again? Retro fan 71, my friends, I've made so many videos about this. Okay, because this is such, like, I know this is a topic like so many of us worry about. Are they really happy? Like, I will answer your question, but I'm just going to give you food for thought here. Like, who can be happy, all right, behaving the way that they do? You know, affecting people, upsetting people, berating people, shouting at them, making them feel so small, cheating on them like continuously and with lots of partners. Maybe there was like one or two, but how can someone be happy doing that? Think about it, right? When you behave like that, there is something called karma. Okay, it's the law of the universe. It's gonna come for you. It doesn't. Oh, I love that, Chrissy. Yeah, who cares? We are happier. Exactly. They're not happy. And all of those cycles, all of those behaviors that they had done with you, okay, please don't think that they are going to be better and find, you know, the love of their life and suddenly they're going to be happy with someone new. It doesn't work like that. Like this doesn't, that's not how it is. Okay, you don't just jump from one person to the next like that. It doesn't work like that. You never work on yourself. You never understand you. So do you think that they have done any work on themselves? Do you think that they have had any self-awareness or anything like that? No, they haven't. So everything that they've done in your relationship with you, they're going to do in the new one because they haven't changed. And that is what you have to remember. This is it's just their behaviors on repeat. in a cycle. Like, it's not going to change. Yeah, that's right, Peter. They operate with a completely different vibration. Yeah, exactly. And Chrissy says, yes, your life becomes so much better. Out of the fog, self-esteem, self-love, family, etc. Joy comes back into your life. Yes. And that is exactly what happens. This is them. So no, they're not going to move on and be happy with someone else. And actually, it's probably better that they do. They can leave you alone for those of you who are going through that. Okay, so the next part, I really wanted to look at the fear of intimacy and emotional closeness. Like, I know that being with a narcissist really robs us of this. Okay. And the abuse often involves repeated betrayals of trust, making you weary of letting anyone else get close to you. And I've seen this time and time again. Okay, where the root of the fear is in past betrayals. When someone betrays you, when they cheat on you, this isn't just that they have been with another person or they've slept with another person. That betrayal cuts deep. Okay. And I don't know whether we really ever get over that, because when someone betrays you, someone that you love, someone that you care about betrays you, it cuts deep. Okay. And what happens is then we are afraid, or we're too scared of allowing anyone else close to us. But the way that you break this, okay, is by, you need to start practicing self-love. And I'm going to talk more about this in a moment. But narcissistic relationships, they violate boundaries. They violate your personal, your emotional, your sexual boundaries. And they use this vulnerability against you, leading you to basically to become too vulnerable or to become too dependent on them. Okay. So when they violate your boundaries, that means they have no respect for you. That means that they don't care how it's making you feel. As long as it's good for them, it doesn't matter about you. And this can be really detrimental to us going forward, especially when one of our triggers comes up or when fear comes up. Okay, so what happens when you feel like that, when you have fear, when you have triggers, you're going to have defense mechanisms. They're there to protect you. We've all got them. Okay? So some of the common ways that fear might show up, okay, is you might end up being able to move forward into another relationship, but what happens is that you keep it at a surface level to avoid deep emotional connection because you're scared. You don't want to let someone ill. You will have self-sabotaging behaviors like pushing people away or ending relationships prematurely because, again, the fear comes up. They're getting too close. You don't want to let someone in too close. These are your defense mechanisms. These are your protective barriers. You just don't want to let anybody in. And then also there's another aspect of this is the hyper independence, where you might avoid relying on anyone to maintain a sense of safety. So this is all about not letting someone in because you don't want the emotional closeness. You don't want someone in. You don't want anyone else there that you can rely on them. Because if you rely on them or you let anyone in too close, that means that you then become open or then you become vulnerable. And this is a huge thing. And this then stops us from being able to, like, move on into a healthy relationship with somebody else, or a relationship or a friendship or whatever with somebody else, because we always think that that person has a different motive. And what we have to stop and remember here is that not everybody is like that. And I know that's really hard for those of us who are really feeling this, who are going through this. It makes us distrust others. But I mean, like, the worst thing that we can do is not connect to others, okay? And be closed off and be shut down. Like, that's the worst thing that we can do to somebody. All right. So that's why what I want to encourage you guys to be able to, first of all, you have to build that trust within yourself. Like, if I said to you guys, like, how many of you, all right, I'm going to put this question out to you guys, right? How many of you trust yourselves? Like, you can put your hand on your heart and you say, I trust me. If you can, drop a yes in the comments now. Let's just see how where everyone is with all of this. Peter K says, never. Betrayal changes something that feels irreparable. Yeah, I know what you mean. I know. And it's true. Sometimes 50-50. Okay. So, yeah, trust is a big thing, isn't it? Trust is a huge thing. If you don't trust you, okay, then how are you going to be able to trust someone else? Because it all starts with you first. But that isn't about becoming hyper independent and not letting anyone else um, into your space. This is about knowing that actually, if you are met with a situation like this, you're going to be able to get through it. You'll trust yourself that you are able to get through it. Bonnie says, generally, not always. Yes, but had to make decisions sometimes. Betsy says it's hard to trust yourself after a covert narcissist reveals their true self. So it's a 50-50 split. So this is something, do you know what? Maybe I might talk about this in the next live, like trusting yourself, trusting your gut, because this is ultimately what it is, your intuition, right? Every single one of you has an intuition, but it's about whether you trust it enough to be able to listen to it. That's right. Intuition never lies. Energy never lies. You can always read someone by their energy. And this is what I encourage you guys to do, is to be able to read the situation, read that person. But you're not going to be able to do it if you don't trust yourself. If you don't understand yourself, if you're not connected to yourself, okay, then how can you do that for anybody else? And, you know, I'm just going to say that literally this is what my work is about, is to be able to connect to yourself. This is the medicine, this is the antidote to narcissistic abuse or to abusive emotionally abusive relationships, okay, is the connection to self. Because those relationships, what they do is they want to destroy that within you. Okay, the only way that you can connect back to yourself, okay, is by you understanding you, by you trusting yourself, by you getting to know you. You know, like, spend some time with yourself. But I think a lot of us run away from that because of certain fears, certain triggers that we have. But you know what? You know what? You came here with you. Okay. And you're going to leave here with you. So this whole experience that you have, this life, okay, you are conducting it with you. So it makes sense to get to know yourself, to connect to you. And one simple way of doing that is to spend time with yourself. You know what's really good is journaling. When you journal, you're connecting to you. You're having that conversation with yourself. Like, what could be better than that, my friends? What could be better than that? Is having that conversation with yourselves. You guys know that I do the journal club. So, but that's for those of you who have gone past the like self-reflection stage, those of you that are like literally like, you know, healing. Like my journal club, that's all about like, I give you prompts every single Monday for you to kind of reflect on you, for you to be able to understand you. Okay. But if you're someone that is who's right at the beginning of this, I would say to you is start journaling, like literally 2 to 5 minutes a day. And I know you're going to open your journal and you're going to be like, well, what, Anoushka, what do I write? What do I write in this journal? And I'm going to say to you, just write, hi, how are you? Just write something like that, or just say, I don't know what to write. And what you will find is that over time, or maybe at that time when you're writing, you will find that you will start writing a little bit more. Okay. And you can even set a timer. Like, for those of you who don't have enough time in the day, you can set your little timer on your phone or on your watch, and yeah, like basically journal for like those 5 minutes. And then obviously over time, you can increase it. You can increase the time to journal for a little bit longer. Chrissy, I like that. I like that. You guys make me laugh. So, okay, so where did we get to? Okay, so The next part I wanted to talk about is strategies for building healthy vulnerability, because this is also very important. Okay, being vulnerable is not a weakness. Okay, you got narcissistic or toxic people that want to exploit that, but having healthy vulnerability, you know what? That is good. Being able to be vulnerable, that is power. That's not weakness. Although I know, like, being with someone like that has probably taught you that actually you can't be vulnerable because somebody will exploit you and take advantage. But this is where, my friends, this is where you have to have boundaries. Okay, so you need to start practicing vulnerability, right? This is how you get over, okay? You need to start practicing vulnerability in small, safe actions in low stake situations. So, for example, that might be by sharing something personal with a trusted friend and observing in your body how it feels. This is the connection to self, all right? We're always connecting to ourselves, all right? We're always observing how it makes us feel. And our body will always let us know. Okay, so try sharing something with someone. It doesn't matter how small or how big or how important it is. Don't put judgment on it. Okay. This is about you trying to share something with someone else. Okay. And just seeing how it feels, but someone who you feel safe with. I was going to say that a lot of you in the comments, you share your experiences here. That's you practicing healthy vulnerability, because this is a safe space, even though I know it's like a public forum, but this is a safe space. Okay, so when we do have our moderator, hats off to you, Yang. um yeah, so this is about, you share a little bit, and as you can see, think about how does that make you feel, sharing information about yourself. So, also the therapy, the support groups, practicing openness and vulnerability when you meet someone new, and this will help you to gain trust in safe places. And ultimately, this is about being able to understand yourself, connect to yourself, but being able to read other people and know that it is safe. And then, obviously, over time, you're going to be able to do this when you are out and about. So, I want to remind you that this is going to take time. This isn't just going to happen overnight. Okay. And that progress will happen at your own pace. Okay. And this is about gradually redefining what it means to feel safe in a relationship, because not everybody is going to exploit you. Not everyone is going to judge you. Not everyone is going to put you down and make snide comments. Not everyone is going to cheat on you. Okay. And in a healthy relationship, this doesn't happen. I mean, no one needs to be doing things like that. But what we have to do is we have to get back home to ourselves. We have to do this, because otherwise we will stay stuck. Um, I guess this is more kind of like, I think in psychology we've got something called exposure therapy, all right? And so exposure therapy, in order to be able to override this, because what has happened is these are certain patterns of behavior that you have, okay, that you know that when you feel fear or when you don't feel safe or emotionally safe in a situation, you will do certain things. Okay, so where in order to build like healthy vulnerability, which is one of the hardest things, especially after a narcissistic relationship, this is about being able to expose yourself into uncomfortable situations, because what you're doing is you're overriding your cognitive systems. So remember what I said, like, we're always going to go back to what is comfortable, because it's familiar. But this is about overriding that. We're not going to sit in comfortability. Otherwise, we're never going to be able to progress and go forward. Okay. So this is about going forward. So why are you having issues with your internet? Sorry. Okay, so this is about overriding that so that you're, it's kind of like you are cognitively creating new neural pathways. Do you remember I talk about this in all my lives, my friends? Yeah, this is about you overriding those systems so that you don't think like that, so that um you're not putting fear. Okay, you're not allowing fear to control you. This does take practice. I know what I'm saying is not as easy as me saying it like, yeah, we can do it. It's going to take time. However, It is not impossible to break this cycle, and it is not impossible to heal. This is going to take a lot of leaps of faith. I know this is going to be about leaps of faith, but in order for you to move forward, we have to do this. We have to take these small actions to help ourselves. How is everyone doing so far? We're coming up to like nearly halfway. Is it halfway? No, we're more than halfway. How is everyone doing? Tell me in the comments how you guys are doing. And also, how are we doing with the likes? Guys, there's 89 of you here, 90, and we got 68 likes. Guys, smash that like button, please. Good. I'm glad to hear that. Thank you. If you're hosting any live events, I will be. I will be in the future hosting live events. Yes. Thank you so much. It's just real. Yeah. Good, good. I'm glad this is helping. Yeah, 4.99. Like I think like literally like yeah, 5% of the people. Isn't it a little bit more? Yeah, because it's such a huge thing. It's such a huge thing. Thank you guys for the likes. You know, it does help. It does help with like the algorithm, like to put that information out there for people who may be struggling. That's the only reason why I say it. Oh, you're welcome, Steve-O. Okay, so the next bit that we're going to talk about is the distrusting of others. And I know this is huge for so many of us. Okay, the hypervigilance. So basically, what hypervigilance means is heightened alertness to signs of danger. It's kind of like you look out for it. So, and this is a really common response to narcissistic abuse. So you're constantly analyzing other people's behavior for potential red flags. So you're literally always watching. You're always thinking someone's out there that's going to hurt you. Like, why? What are these person's intentions? You can't let it go. Like you're always watching, and it is just like literally this is like the hypervigilance. And what you'll find is that when you do this over a period of time, you just feel so drained, you feel so tired because it does take a lot of energy. Okay, and you know why this happens? Because of the narcissist's unpredictable behavior, this can make you doubt your own judgment, leading you to anxiety in future relationships. So like what happens is you end up doubting yourself. You end up thinking that you've got it wrong, or everyone's narcissistic, or everyone's out there that they're going to hurt you. Okay. And that happens because of the inconsistent, unpredictable behavior from the narcissist. And the way that it affects you is it makes it very difficult for you to authentically be yourself in relationships. You'll avoid commitment. It'll make it very difficult for you to relax or to trust someone else's intentions. Basically, you just think that everyone's out to get you, and that's why you have this hypervigilance, because you think that everyone is going to be narcissistic. Like I know like how many times, those of you that have been clients of mine, like so many of my clients come into these therapy sessions, and they're like, oh my god, you know what, like I think everybody is narcissistic, everyone's out there to hurt me, like I can't relax, I can't be myself, this is so challenging. And I hear it all the time, and that's why I know that this makes it really difficult for you to be able to relax and be able to trust another person. But the fact is, okay, the fact is it doesn't matter whether I tell you like, no, not everyone's narcissistic, no, not everyone is horrible or nasty. You know what, this is about you. Okay, you believing that actually it's okay, like no, not everyone is narcissistic, not everybody is going to be like that. That's up to you to determine that and to get to that place. Okay, because it doesn't matter what anyone says, you're just going to distrust them. Okay, but this is about moving forward, right? This is about moving forward, this is about healing. Okay, we can't be stuck in that mindset, because where's it going to get us? How are we going to move forward? How are we going to be able to live our life? We're just going to end up being stuck. okay, in victim mentality. And we are not victims, okay? We are going to get through this. All right. Being stuck in victim mentality. Why me? Why has this happened? Why is this happening to me? No, that's not what we're doing here, my friends. We're going to move forward from this. All right. And I know it's not an easy journey. I know it is painful and it is challenging and it really challenges you to the core. But what's the alternative? Staying in this mindset, staying in this victim mentality, always seeing that things are done to you and you don't have a choice whether you get through this or not. That's not what life is about. My friends, we have to put ourselves in uncomfortable situations. Okay. We have to move forward from this. Otherwise, what's going to happen? We're going to stay stuck. We're going to end up living this life, this mediocre life, just surviving. What is the point? You got to live it. You have to live it for you. Okay. You didn't come onto this earth to just survive. Okay. And merely get through this. Okay. You will get through this, but there's certain things that you have to do. Okay. And yeah, they're going to be uncomfortable. And no, it's not going to be easy. But you will succeed. There is no reason why you shouldn't. Okay. So, one thing that I would suggest to you is grounding techniques. Okay. Grounding, that's about really because when your nervous system is overstimulated, particularly if you have anxiety, particularly if you're experiencing this and you can't relax, okay, your nervous system and your adrenal system is going to be overworked. So, one way of grounding, okay, is to be able to practice breathing, box breathing, interval breathing, meditation, maybe listening to music that's going to help calm your nervous system. I always say get out into nature because that is what is important. Nature always heals. Nature always makes you feel better. Okay, get out into the woods. Go for a walk by the beach. Those of you that are lucky enough to have a beach near you, um, and it being warm. Um, there's other places in nature that can help. Okay. But that's about healing your nervous system. Okay. This is your responsibility to do this for you, not anybody else, but you. Okay. So I would suggest to you is practice grounding and it will reduce anxiety. Also, walking bare feet on the earth. I know for those of us that live in the UK, this is a little bit impossible right now because there is mud everywhere. You probably wouldn't want to do that. However, those of you in warmer climates, yeah, try it. And it will help to reduce anxiety and also the anxiety of when you're feeling overtly suspicious or doubtful. Okay. Sometimes, like, deep breathing, this, like being able to steady your breath, that will really, really help as well. Okay. And also, what I would say is I encourage you to do gentle self reflection. Okay, to build up that self awareness, to build up your understanding of you, where there's fears that are based on present relationships or past experiences. You need to be able to explore this. Perhaps maybe this is something that you could do with a therapist, or maybe even by yourself. Like, if you are able to be self aware enough to be able to do this on your own, I would say, yeah, just literally just being able to reflect on your behaviors and your fears or what's coming up for you. And also, um, taking small risks in trusted relationships can really help you to build trust in yourself again. So, for example, like I was saying earlier, maybe sharing a little bit of information about yourself, something that is quite like a little bit of a secret, or maybe you don't want other people to know, something that you wouldn't share with another person, knowing that you're not going to get judged, knowing that this person isn't going to criticize you or put you down or tell you what to do because you tell say this bit of information. That can really help to counteract that fear and that hypervigilant. Oh dear, how we doing? How we doing? Pitt says, what does it mean the narcissist can't connect to themselves? It sounds weird. Oh, okay. So what I meant, I don't know if I said that. Okay, so what I meant is if the narcissist cannot connect to themselves, okay, because they are not able to understand themselves. They don't understand emotions, okay, because they have no empathy or very little empathy. So they're not going to be able to understand you. So you're asking someone who does not understand emotions or connection to self to be able to understand you and your own needs. They're not going to be able to do that because they can't do it for themselves. So if a person can't do it for themselves, how are they going to be able to do it for you or anybody? Do you know what I mean? Like that's what I meant is they cannot connect to themselves. Bruno says, Love is a game of what it provides. The best comes down from giving." Yeah, but also love is also about being equal. It's about give and take. It's not just always about giving and it's not always just about taking. So there has to be a healthy balance there. Oh my God, you went to Cancun by yourself after a 3-year relation. Amazing. I'd love to go there. I'd love to explore Mexico. I will one day. I will. I will do next year. Oh my God. So I'm going to reveal something, guys. Next year, I am going traveling. I'm literally okay, so I've just booked my tickets for Greece for New Year's. So yes, of course, I'm going to see my friend Maria. She's probably not on the live anymore. She's probably either fallen asleep or she's writing. At the moment, she's writing her dissertation for the doctorate, and that she's doing a lot about bullying in the workplace. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. Um, I am going to be on the move next year. I know I've stayed pretty grounded in the UK the whole of this year, but you know what happened to me earlier this year, guys? Yeah, the channel got hacked, so I was kind of grounded in terms of being able to like have any movement and going away traveling. But next year, I'm on the move, my friends. So I'm very, very excited about that. I'm starting off kind of like early next year, so maybe in the first 2 to 3 months of the year, I'm going to be going. But stay updated. You guys heard it here first. Very nice. Which part of Greece? I'm going to Athens. I'm going down just down south. Yes. Red Pill says, nervous system. She would literally make me shake. Bless you. So, this is what I mean. This is where you got to heal your nervous system. This is so important. Being able to bring calm and being able to feel safe within your own body. Because ultimately, that's what we've got, don't we? That's what we've got. We've got our own bodies and we're not feeling safe. And our nervous system is shot to pieces and we're always overthinking. There's always the hypervigilance. This isn't good, my friends. So this is about healing that. This is about being able to make it a comfortable place for you to live within your body. Okay, for me, for example, what really helps, like when my anxiety goes, because it does sometimes, and I know I don't make it a secret because I just want you guys to know, like, I feel it too. Like, I understand what you guys are going through. Okay, so I will I go to the gym and I feel like that really does help me. It's the repetitive movement. For me, it's the when I feel the weight, the heaviness of the weight on my body that really helps to ground me. It really helps to kind of like help me to focus and have my awareness on something, you know? So my concentration is on something. Also, for example, I listen to certain type of music when I'm training. So for me, it's healing. Actually, for me it's healing, and so I really really enjoy going to the gym. And I know a lot of people as well. So I mean, for those of you that are interested in going to the gym, I am actually going to make a video about this. I've got so many friends at the gym. We need to do it. We need to do a little talk on this because I think this is really important on how actually going to the gym and how exercises and how the repetition of movement can really help with anxiety and feeling safe within our body. Like that is a mental note to myself. I need to do a video on this or a talk or maybe even a live. We will see. Okay, so the next part that I really wanted to talk about is the struggles with setting and maintaining boundaries with people. Okay, ultimately, because we have had our own boundaries violated by these toxic people, we feel, okay, that asserting our own needs or saying that something doesn't sit right with us is often dangerous or selfish because with someone who has no respect for you, they're not going to respect your boundaries. They're not going to care about what your boundaries are. They're always going to do whatever it is that they want to do. So that's why we then feel like, oh, maybe our needs are not important. Maybe we don't need to set boundaries with those people, but this is wrong. This is wrong, my friends. Of course, you need to set boundaries with people. Of course, you're not going to allow any old person just to walk all over you. Don't do that. You need to be able to put yourself or look at yourself in high regard. You can't let just someone walk all over you or you just let things slide. Don't do things like that. If it doesn't sit right with you, say it. But the most important thing is that you know what your boundaries are. You know where that line is if someone crosses it. Okay. And sometimes it might be difficult for us to establish boundaries because we fear the backlash. We're kind of been programmed or conditioned to think that by setting boundaries, it's going to make us feel like there's going to be some sort of argument or there's going to be some sort of abandonment or an anger from someone. But that's what makes us fearful. That's what makes it difficult. Okay. And if we stay in this mindset, we're never going to be able to move forward. And so when there are boundary issues, the way that it's going to affect things in your relationship is going to lead to resentment, isn't it? You're going to resent that person because they're not treating you right. They're not making you feel good, right? So if that's the way, if that is happening, then you can't feel safe in this relationship. You're not enjoying yourself. You're not enjoying the time that you spend with this person. You're not enjoying the way that you're interacting with one another. And so it leads to resentments because you feel overextended and you feel taken advantage of. But if you don't put a boundary in place, how is that person going to know? And with a narcissist, they will know, but they don't care. So they're going to violate it. Okay. Like, for example, you might go out, you might be going out with your friends, and you've told this person, yeah, I'm going out. This is what I'm doing. They've kind of shown you or told you that they don't really like the fact that you're going out. Really, you should stay in. But it's your friend's birthday. Of course, you want to go out and help celebrate the birthday. But this person's telling you not to go out and not do it. So anyway, you do end up going out because you're like, oh my God, like this is, I want to go out, I want to see my friends and celebrate their birthday. And then this person is calling and texting you incessantly. Okay. That is a violation of boundaries. Number one, why is someone telling you what to do? Number two, you're going out to enjoy some time with your friends. So there's boundaries on your time. Okay. And also, again, like, why is someone telling you what to do? And then when you're out with your friends, why is this person calling you, checking up on you? All of these things that, I'm just giving an example of how a violation of boundary, might be. Okay. So I know this might be an extreme example, but maybe some of you have experienced this. Okay. And what this might do sometimes, it might cause you to have very strict and rigid boundaries which keep people at arm's length or prevent you from true intimacy. So basically, you just hide away from the world because it's just too difficult for you. So this is where, oh my gosh, this is where you have to be aware that there is, that there is sorry, I'm just reading the comments, that there is a middle ground here, basically. Thank you, Bob. After 5 years of no contact, NS emailed me and he wants to talk. No, no. 5 years of no contact, and then they contact you and then they want to talk. No, I don't think so. Like, we're done. We're done here, aren't we, Bob? We're done here. Like, what are they going to say? What is it that they want to say? Like, I mean, 5 years? Yeah, no, absolutely. I think this is a Hoover attempt, isn't it? They're trying to see if you will still talk to them. That's kind of like the vibe that I'm getting of this person. But like, honestly, what have they got to say to you that you don't already know? Seriously. Nasty says, I listed my boundaries in a text to them and they said they refused to speak via text and they made me call them and attacked and hung up on me. I mean, who does that? Who does that? So that person has no respect, do they? That person has No respect, zero respect for you. Mira says it's easy to spot narcissists from non-narcissists. Impossible to have to have no self-respect and boundaries. Exactly. Yeah. Well, yeah, they're never sorry either. For sure, they're never sorry. Yeah. What's the favorite thing you like? That's the thing they take away. Yeah. Exactly, because they want to take that from you. They don't want you to be able to enjoy yourself or be happy or anything like that. Yeah. Oh, bless you, nasty. Sounds nice. I heard Asia is a good that time of year. Yeah, I'm thinking Asia too. Yeah, going to that part of the world, like Bali or Thailand for sure, definitely. Okay, so like, where is the time gone? Seriously, like, where is the time gone? Okay, so now we're going to be talking about the risk of attracting narcissists again. This is the best part of the live, my friends, the best part. Okay, right. So this is how you never attract a narcissist again. Okay. The first thing that you got to remember is understanding the cycle. Okay, you guys know the cycle. Okay, you guys are aware of it because you've gone through it, you've understood it, you've lived it, you got the t-shirt, yeah, and you got the sticker as well. Okay, so this is about how unhealed wounds from narcissistic abuse can make you more vulnerable to similar personalities in the future. This is why I always say it is really important to do the work. I know that you guys here on the live and you are working on yourselves. You're investing time in you. And I know that time is precious for everybody. And I know that I've got you guys here from all over the world, from literally one end to the other. Okay, I know. And I appreciate your time. And I'm so humbled and grateful for you, okay, spending the time here to work on yourselves, okay? But this is why it is so important, because if you have unhealed wounds, if you're unaware of what your behaviors are, of what you are doing, then you will attract another narcissist. If you have codependent issues, if you have boundary issues, if you are a people pleaser, all of those things weaken you because you're not sticking up for yourself. So that is why this makes you more susceptible to having these narcissistic toxic people in your life. Okay, if you haven't learned to recognize the red flags or set strong boundaries, they're going to come for you. Okay, and they're going to walk all over you, and the same thing is going to happen, which is why it's really important for you to understand these cycles of pattern, these cycles of behaviors. That's what I meant to say. Yeah, sorry. I know what I need to say, but yeah. Um, okay, and so another thing, all right, another thing that you need to be aware of is that narcissists are drawn to compassionate, empathetic people, nice people, people who've got energy, people who have got like this vibrant energy, um, people who are willing to give. What else? People that are, might struggle to assert themselves. People that are just genuinely nice, like me and you, my friends. Okay, like me and you. Okay, so if you are someone like that, I am not asking you to change, but what I'm asking you to do is to put boundaries in place. So for you to understand, okay, um what those patterns are, the red flags in a person. But then I also need you to put boundaries in place. This is why it's really important. You don't need to change as a person. You don't need to change who you are. You are perfect just as you are, but you have to learn to recognize it. And this is your responsibility to learn to recognize those red flags. Okay. This is not about overgiving right at the beginning of the relationship. Like, I know with narcissistic people, it's going to feel amazing because they are going to love bomb you. They're going to make you feel good. They're going to do all of these things. And it is something that maybe you will want, and it will feel totally validating. But that's where I'm going to ask you to stop. Think about it. Who does that? I know it feels good, but why is someone doing that? Why is everyone like, why is someone making you feel so good, so amazing? I understand the honeymoon period in healthy relationships, but I'm talking like right at the beginning. They're going to be telling you, oh, we should move in together. Oh, we should get married like literally next month. Oh, we should do like everything just moves so quickly. And that is an issue. Okay. And then once you're so caught up in that feeling, this lasts for like a number of weeks and then it's gone. It's gone forever, like poof, into thin air. So that's what, that's what love bombing is. It's someone that demands for quick commitment, they push your boundaries, and there's a lack of accountability, and then the lying comes in. And this is also about being able to step away when you're in that cycle, because it might not happen like straight away. This is about you. This is why I said you have to learn to trust yourselves and get to know yourselves, because otherwise you're not going to be able to trust when you are recognizing these red flags. And when you're seeing them, don't override them, don't make excuses, see it for what it is. When you trust yourself, you're going to be able to leave something that is harmful. Okay, you're going to be able to assess the compatibility between you and this person, and actually like think to yourself, is this person worth it? Do I really need to stay? Like, why are they being like this? You're going to be able to get out and not become too deeply entangled with this person. Yeah. See, this is what I'm saying. It's going to be so much easier. Okay. So, in order for you to get to that stage, I need you to be able to connect yourself, prioritize your self care, self reflection, become aware of yourself. Okay. Working on yourself, doing these things. This is about you doing this every single day, not just once a week, but it's every single day, working on yourself. Okay. Because this then becomes, this strengthens you. If you're doing something every day and you're working on yourself, this strengthens you. This gives you power. Okay. And the repetition is what's going to give it that power. And you will be able to have all of this. You're going to be able to have a discernment, self awareness, connection to self. I would also suggest taking new relation. If you find yourself in this situation, this is about taking new relationships slowly. And I mean slowly. Get to know this person. Don't become too engrossed in this person too quickly, because again, these are the signs of love bombing, aren't they? So it's about allowing time to assess whether you're compatible with that person. And if someone is encouraging you or asking you to move this on quickly, that is a red flag. Okay, that is something that you need to look out for. And also look out for when the actions don't match their words. That's also a red flag. People can talk, people can say so many things, but their behavior will never lie. So that is something that you need to look out for as well. Um, Also, I would recommend creating something called a deal breaker. So that's a list that includes behaviors and patterns that you refuse to tolerate. Okay, helping you to stay aligned with your own values and your own needs, so that person knows. Obviously, someone who is toxic is going to override them and not want to um, participate. Then they're not going to have respect, so they're not going to listen or do them. Do you know what I mean? Like, that is what's going to happen. So this is something that you need to exercise and exert for yourself. Okay, so I was going to do a reflection exercise, but what I'm going to do, actually, I'm going to put this in the comments after the live. These are just a set of, because I think we're running out of time as well. These are a set of journaling prompts, like things like, I'm going to ask you to take a moment to think about, your relationships in your life. Are there any repeating patterns that might stem from past abuse? Like things like that. And I'm gonna also, yeah, this is gonna be a reflection exercise. I was gonna do it here now on the live, but we are literally, can't believe the time. You know what? It's true what they say. When you're having fun, the time does go, doesn't it? Okay, so the last part of it, I'm gonna look at steps towards healing. Okay, and there's three steps, my friends. Okay, so the first one is about setting boundaries and prioritizing you. Okay, this is about practical boundary setting exercises. It's important for you to do that, like to understand yourself, to create awareness, to stop you from feeling anxiety. Do things that are going to help you, do things that are going to make you feel good. Listen, you only have this one life. Okay. And why are you going to be spending it worrying about someone else, thinking, oh, have they moved on? Are they with someone new? Are they happy with someone new? What about you? What about you? Have you been able to move on? Have you worked on yourself? Are you happy with somebody else? Stop checking their social media, finding out what they're doing or anything like that. Doesn't matter if they are with someone new. This is now where you take your energy and your attention back and you think about you. Think about what is good for you, because this is, do you know what? This is your life. This is you live your life for you. So you got to do what is right for you, what feels good for you. And it is so important that you do that. Okay. Like this is about maybe what you could do this week before next week's live next Tuesday. What you could do is think about self-care routines. What does that look like? For example, my self-care routines is I'll wake up in the morning, I'll have a nice cup of tea and maybe a coffee if I don't feel so awake. But then I get myself down to the gym and it has to be in the morning. Because I don't know why. I can't even actually answer that. I prefer to go in the morning because then I kind of set up my day and then I'm ready for, like, if I'm creating content in the afternoon or maybe I've got clients in the afternoon, whatever it is that I've got to do, I make sure that I get to the gym. Okay, because that for me is important. All right, so this is about having self-care routines. Okay, does that mean that maybe sometimes journaling is important for you, your meditation? This is about really taking the attention of anybody else or everybody else and start thinking about yourself. Okay, because this is about rebuilding a sense of safety and control in your life. Okay, I also would suggest for you to get out and be social. And I know that maybe that might be quite difficult for you at the moment, but maybe it's like, maybe you might find, I don't know, like a group therapy or something like that in your area. Maybe it might be reaching out to others. Maybe like there's a hobby or something that you like doing, something that's completely not related to like narcissism and therapy and all of that, because it doesn't have to like literally overtake your day. This is about you. Okay, really doing something that is good for you, that makes you feel good. Okay, so do something for you. It doesn't have to be focused around that. So maybe that's like an activity, or maybe there's some things that you like doing, maybe some sports or whatever, and try to reconnect with some people, because that is really important. That would be really, really good for you. Okay. So, and this is about also focusing the time, the energy, and emotion onto you instead of having to give it out to somebody else like all the time. Okay. Um, and also rebuilding your self worth, rebuilding you, getting to know you. Okay. Again, like I always say, take the attention off everybody else, stop putting everyone else first, and put that back onto you. That is what is important. Okay, my friends. There's the process of rediscovering, your personal interests, your strengths, strategies like, for example, journaling, affirmations, or creative expressions to rebuild your identity. Creative expressions, I mean something like maybe you might like painting or drawing, or maybe you like yoga, dancing. That is a way to express you. Get back to what you like. Like, for example, as a child, I used to love horse riding. So, as part of me moving forward, I would go horse riding. Or, for example, I paint. I like to paint pictures. I think I've shown some of you sometime, like on the lives before, but I paint pictures. Haven't done for quite a long time, but that's a form of creative expression for me. That really helps me to connect to my emotions. So maybe something, you guys will know what is best for you. Okay. So, I hope that this has helped, my friends. I hope that this has helped you to understand that actually there are ways forward. It doesn't mean that you will stay stuck. Okay. This is about you really reconnecting to you and understanding you. Okay. This is about creating boundaries, breaking the cycle, understanding what is going on, being aware. This is about setting boundaries, understanding you, coping strategies, stopping the hypervigilance, literally calming your nervous system. All of those things are very important for you. Connection back to yourself. Okay. So I'm gonna say thank you so much for being here, all of you. I have enjoyed the live. I'm really sorry I was a little bit late. I will be back next Tuesday at 9 p.m. A little bit more awake and a little bit more with it because I wouldn't have gone out to a Christmas party. um, so if you want to dive deeper, please know that I do offer one-to-one consultations. There's also my Patreon mentorship. If you want to have a look what I got up to over on my Christmas party, please consider joining me over on Instagram. I will be back with fresh content tomorrow. Yes, I've got a video for tomorrow. Completely forgotten what the title is. Sorry about that. I forget all the time. And if you're looking for personalized guidance, again, one-to-one consultations. What else is there? The live streams on next Tuesday. You guys are so welcome. I really hope it's helped this week. I really do. Like, I hope it's like helped you guys to think of this a little bit differently and know that you don't have to stay stuck. Thank you, all of you. Chrissy, Nasty, David, 76 red pills. 76 red pills. Nasty, don't worry. You're it's gonna be absolutely fine. Sweepstakes, my friend. Bless you. Thank you for all the hearts. Thank you. And Mirror Mirror. Yang, what's been going on you? Sorry if you're not so active, you're technical. What's wrong with your Wi-Fi? This happened to me like literally a couple of weeks ago. Thank you, Sanjay, Bruno. And those of you that were not on the chat, that's absolutely fine. Thank you so much for watching and for being here. Like, I really, really appreciate it. So, guys, I hope to see you again next Tuesday. We're back to normal. We're back to normal, my friends. You know, like no more partying, no more any of this stuff. I am back with you guys next Tuesday. Please check the community tab for like what the topic is going to be. I'm not sure as of yet, but yeah, fresh content, brand new videos coming out tomorrow. Thank you so much for being here, guys. Thank you, and have a great week. Okay, start journaling, get out into nature, calm your nervous systems. Life will be great. Bye, guys. See you next week.